Shalom. Welcome to part 2 of the talks on the feminine nature of the set apart spirit. Reading from Proverbs, that's Mishlei chapter 8, from verse 1 up to chapter 9 verse 6. I'll read the verse and then any amplifications as I deem necessary at the end of that verse. Now, does wisdom she continually call you, and insight, intelligence, understanding she continually gives. Okay. She continually call you. Tikara. It's prefixed imperfect third person feminine. Kara means to recite, to call, to proclaim, to shout out, to read. And as this is in the imperfect conjugation, this is an ongoing and continual calling. And then insight, intelligence, understanding, tebinah, it's rendered in the feminine. It means intelligence, understanding, cleverness, insight. Excuse me. And the perfect conjugation denotes that it's a done deal. That is, if she calls and if we respond, then this outcome is certain. That is, the outcome would be, if we respond to the call, she will continually give insight, intelligence and understanding. Verse 2. Within the top of the heights, upon the path, at home, at the crossroads, she takes her stand. Okay. Amplification. At the top of the heights, upon the path, the way we walk, the journey, the distance, how we live our lives, in our homes, at the crossroads. Now, everyone comes to a crossroad in life. We have a choice. It's where roads meet. It's a well-trodden path, a well-trodden way of life. But we come to a choice. We either carry on walking the way of the world, or we walk the way of our Father in heaven. And that's a choice we have to make. And that is where she stands at those crossroads. She's saying, choose me. Choose the Torah. Choose Yahuwah's instructions. That's where she takes her stand. Verse 3. Besides the gates, at the edge of town, at the entrance of the doorway, she cries aloud. I mean, everyone used to come in through the gates of the town. All the entrances and the doorways of the houses, the entrances to our hearts and our minds, she's crying aloud. And again, it's all in the feminine. Verse 4. Unto you, men, Ishim, I call out, proclaim and summon, and my voice is unto the sons of Adam. No amplification needed. Simple ones, verse 5. Simple ones, they must choose by their own volition to discern and understand subtlety. Fools, understand and discern the mind. Okay, amplification. Simple ones, petayim. It means to entice, the simple. Those easily enticed, persuaded or seduced, those easily deceived, the young naive person. The next word, habinu, they must choose by their own volition to discern and understand. Bin is to understand, to discern, to be able to distinguish, perceive, to pay attention to. And it's prefixed with the definite article and suffix for they. And I've translated it as they must discern and understand, as it is in the hifil stem, meaning that the subject of the verb, the simple ones, have a direct cause of the object of the verb. That is, the simple ones must cause the understanding and discernment by their choices and volition. And as it's in the imperative form, this is the imperative form denotes a command. It's an exhortation to do something, but we must be willing to do that something. It implies choice. It implies personal volition. Subtlety. The first letter of this in the ancient Hebrew is the Ga, and it's Garama. and it was later changed to the ayin, and it means to learn subtlety in craftiness and prudence. Fools, keselim, fools, stupid, shameless, those who hate knowledge, those that find knowledge disdainful, and thereby they're in a state of rebellion. With knowledge comes understanding. With knowing the Torah and instruction comes understanding. If we have disdain for the Torah, for Yahuwah's knowledge and understanding, then we are in absolute rebellion. If we deny his words, we are in rebellion. It's one who has confidence in foolish things like idols and politicians and rabbis and pastors and the like. Fools discern and understand the mind. Lev, in Hebrew, it's often translated as heart, but it doesn't mean heart. That's one of the meanings. Lev means mind. It's the will, the thoughts. It's the whole inner person. In this case, it's talking about understanding and learning, and so it's in that sense it must be understood, and the context is in that sense. That is, we have to start using the mind. We have to start thinking, and that's what it's saying. The moment if we refuse to think, if we refuse to discern what is truth and what is tradition, then we are fools. If we carry on accepting traditions no matter what the truth says, we are fools. And here it's in telling us, imploring us, fools, think with the mind, discern, understand. Verse 6, they hear noble things I speak, and from the opening of my lips what is right and straight, because truth is in my palate. Verse 7, because truth my palate will speak, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. Now, wisdom, or in this case a set apart spirit, only speaks what is straight and right, what is level, firm and sure. It's a straight word, because only truth is in her palate, is in her mouth, and wickedness she cannot speak. It's an abomination to her lips. Verse 8, in righteousness are all words. In righteousness are all words of my mouth. There does not exist in them anything twisted or perverse. All of them are clear, verse 9, all of them are clear to the one who understands, and straight to the ones who find knowledge, who find intimate knowledge. Amplification. In righteousness, be'zadik. The be prefix, the beit prefix, is in, within, etc. Zadik literally means to be straight, or to walk a straight path. And a person who walks a straight path is considered righteous. The straight path is obviously Torah. So a righteous person is a person who walks the Torah, the instructions of our Father, who walks them straight. Straight are all words from my mouth. Straight and righteous are all the words and the what she speaks from her mouth. And there does not exist ein. It gives the idea of a vacuity, something it just doesn't exist. It's emptiness. There's nothing whatsoever. It just doesn't exist. Anything twisted or perverse. The word for perverse is gargesh, and it means crooked, perverse, to act or walk a crooked path, as opposed to what is straight, as opposed to tzaddik. It's being perverse, to talk perverse words that lead to a crooked path. In other words, it's speaking lies, masquerading as truth, to entice others, especially, onto that crooked path, away from the narrow, straight path of Torah. And all of them, the words are clear, simple, clear. They're not confusing. They do not cause confusion to those who understand. If these words that come from Scripture are confusing, then they do not understand them. Those who are confused do not understand them. It's as simple as that. They do not have the ability to discern, to perceive, to consider, and they do not give heed to. And straight to the ones who find intimate knowledge. All the words of the Spirit are straight, clear to us who understand, but they're straight and clear to those who find intimate knowledge. Intimate knowledge is da'at. It's from yada. Yada means to know with understanding, to know intimately through a close familial relationship. And da'at is knowledge, but it's that intimate knowledge. It's that knowledge gained through a close family relationship. Verse 10. Take my discipline and correction instead of silver, and intimate knowledge rather than choice gold. Verse 11. For better is wisdom than rubies, and all pleasures and delight don't compare. The knowledge and understanding of Yahuwah's words are more precious than any single thing or anything this world can offer collectively. There is nothing under creation that is more important, that is more meaningful, that is better than the discipline of the set apart and cleansing spirit of wisdom. It's beyond measure. Verse 12. I, wisdom, I dwell with subtlety and knowledge. With purpose I bring and find out. I find and bring out. You know, to amplify this, I, wisdom, I dwell. She lives with, she remains with, she settles down upon subtlety. It means to learn subtlety in craftiness and prudence, and intimate knowledge, da'at, with purpose. It's again, they're all feminine terms. They're all feminine terms. They're all feminine verbs. Verse 13. Deep reverence and respect of Yahuwah is to hate evil and arrogance, and the path of an evil and perverted mouth I hate. To amplify this, deep reverence and respect, Yahweh, is often translated the fear, and most translations would have this, the fear of the Lord, or the fear of Adonai, or the fear of Hashem. No. Yahweh has two basic meanings. The first can be to fear, absolutely. To be frightful, to be afraid, to be in a state of great anxiety, to be shaking and quivering, is to be in a state of an amazing alarm for impending doom. But it can also mean a deep and an amazing reverence and respect. The type of reverence and respect one should have for a wonderful Father, and the reverence that comes from being in front of amazing awesomeness, and it includes astonishment and wonder of great majesty and power, which is exactly what we should have for our Father in heaven. We're not there to fear him. We're not there to be on our knees shaking and quivering in amazing anxiety and alarm. No, Father doesn't want that. He doesn't want our fear. He wants our respect. He wants our reverence, yeah, absolutely. But he doesn't want our fear. That's a man-made religious concept, and it's got nothing to do with our Father in heaven. Yeah, there will be those that fear him, but everyone that fears him will not belong to him. They will fear him because of his coming and impending judgment. But those who are part of the family, they will love him, they will revere him, they will have the deepest respect they could muster for him. And that's the meaning here. That's the context here. So the deep reverence and respect of Yahuwah is to hate evil. Evil is anything that is worthless, misery, evil, bad, distress. Which is useless. That's like the lies, you know. Like the lies of religion. We are to hate them. We are to hate all those that say the Torah is nailed to the cross, or the Torah is not for today. All those that teach such lies and deceptions, we are to hate. Their words are arrogant. Their path is perverted. Their mouths are perverted. And the rabbis that claim the place of the Messiah, just by calling themselves rabbis for a start off, that say that the Messiah didn't happen, doesn't exist. We are to hate and detest them. Detest what they teach. And there's no two ways about it. Verse 14. I have counsel and the success and effectiveness of Yahuwah. Now, Teshuyah. Tush means effectiveness, success. But this is suffixed with the Yah, which is a shortened form of the name of Yahuwah, and is commonly used as such in the covenant. Hence a translation of above, the success and effectiveness of Yah, which is what Tushiyah means. Now, I have understanding and insight, I have strength and fortitude. By me kings reign and officials decree righteousness. By me princes rule and nobles all judge righteously. Okay, we can say this is some inanimate emotion or a thing of the mind called wisdom, but no, there's too much personification going on here. This is the set apart spirit. It's a set apart spirit by whom kings reign, by whom officials decree righteousness or straightness, by whom princes rule and nobles all judge through straightness. That can only come via the set apart spirit. Verse 17. I love those who love me. Hold it. I love those who love me. How can wisdom love anyone? Wisdom cannot love anyone. It's a tool. Wisdom is a tool. It's a what would you call it? It's an outcome of understanding, of rightly using understanding and knowledge. It cannot love anyone or anything. But here, wisdom loves. And also, love from a Hebrew perspective is not an abstract feeling as it is in our Western world, but it's a concrete act, a responsibility to care for, to provide for, to protect the ones who we profess to love. We are told to love the mighty authority, not with our emotions, but with our actions and our obedience. We are responsible. If we profess our love for Yahuwah, we are responsible to care for and provide for Him. And how do we do that? By keeping His words, by steadfastly supporting and standing up for His words, especially in the face of lies. By speaking the truth in the face of terrible adversity and lies, no matter whom it hurts. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. I love those who love me. Those who diligently seek me find me. You know, reminds me of what Messiah says. He who knocks, the door will be open to him. He who searches will find. He who asks will be given. You know, all the terms that Messiah used weren't just simple, like if he knocks on the door, like a little tap on the door. It's a rapping on the door. It's a knocking on the door until someone answers it. And when you're searching for the truth, for every single pearl, for every single nugget, every single grain of wonder and beauty within God's word, we've got to leave no stone unturned. We've got to go wherever it leads us. And if we have to, we buy the field. We've got to diligently seek Yahuwah. We've got to diligently seek the Spirit. And we've got to diligently seek the Messiah. We've got to diligently seek Father, our spiritual mother, and the Son. And if we love them, if we love Him, if we love the Spirit, then we will find them. Verse 18, riches and glory are with me, and enduring wealth and straightness are my fruit. Sorry, I'll read that again. Verse 18, riches and glory are with me, and enduring wealth and righteousness. Verse 19, my fruit is better than gold, and from fine refined gold, and my yield than choice silver. Verse 20, in the way of correctness I walk, in the well-trodden path of justice. 21, granting an inheritance to the ones who love my substance. I will fill their treasuries. That's interesting. Verse 21, granting an inheritance to the ones who love my substance. My being, substance, existence. You know, an inanimate, unthinking object called, or action called wisdom, how would it know if we loved it? Surely only a personality will understand if that personality is being loved. To the ones who love my substance. Wisdom doesn't, in and of itself, does have no substance, no being, no existence. It's a tool that's used. But only a personality can have substance, can have being, can have existence. And only a personality can fill their treasuries. Verse 22. Yahuwah gathered me at the very beginning of his path. Boom, 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 boom. His deeds of antiquity. His deeds of antiquity. From eternity I was poured out. From the top and head, from the ancient land. 24. When the depths did not exist, I was brought forth. When there did not exist the springs of honoured waters. You know, what that is telling us is that wisdom, the personality, was brought forth from within eternity. You know, from his deeds of antiquity, before his creation, from eternity, may olam. It actually means, olam means beyond the visible horizon. In this case, it's beyond the horizon of time, beyond what can be seen, beyond time itself. Not forgetting that time was created when the universe was created. Within eternity, time doesn't exist. So beyond the horizon of time, beyond time can only be within eternity. I mean, time started to exist when matter coalesced, when energy coalesced into matter, into substance. Then time began to exist. Before that, there was no time. Beyond the visible horizon, beyond our eternity, beyond our universe, the Spirit was poured out. You know, I'll get to that in a minute. I'll go on to verse 25. In the time before the mountains were sunk into the face of the hills, I was brought forth. Verse 26. Before he made the earth and the fields, or the first dust of the world. Verse 27. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he inscribed the circle upon the face of the abyss. When he strengthened the skies above, when he strengthened the springs of the deep, when he set in place to the seas their limits, so that their waters might not cross its edges, when he inscribed the foundations of the land, and I existed beside him like an artisan, and I was day by day his delight, rejoicing before his face all the time, rejoicing in his inhabited fertile land, and delighting with the sons of Adam. This is it here, you see, and this is the link between Adam and Shava, or Eve, where Eve was taken out and set apart from Adam. Here we are told that the Spirit is also taken out of and set apart from the Father, from the whole. From eternity I was poured out nasak, to make a liquid or spirit, to go in and out of a container, a drink offering. It can also mean to cover or be covered, to cover over an object. From the top of the ancient land. I mean, the ancient land is reference to the spiritual realm. When the depths didn't exist, I was brought forth. The depths, not sure. But before, in the time before the mountains were sunk into the face of the hills, there's another bit. Oh yeah, this one. Before he inscribed the circle upon the face of the abyss. That's an interesting point. The abyss was created on day one. It says so. The abyss, I believe, is a one-dimensional construct of time where only energy can exist and consciousness can exist. And I think that is what is called or denoted as hell. What is on the face of the abyss, but maybe an event horizon? What is an event horizon? The entrance to maybe a black hole. And I think that's what is being referred to here. It's being referred to what Christianity calls hell, the abyss, the ultimate destination for Satan and all those that willingly align with him, where only spirit or consciousness can exist for all eternity, never ever ever escaping. But the Spirit is saying here that she was there. She was his delight, and she delighted in his creation. She delighted with the sons of Adam, us. I mean, how can an inanimate tool like wisdom delight in anything? It can't. It's impossible. But here we have it. And now, sons, listen, hear and understand. And now, sons, listen, hear and understand to me. And blessed and happy are those who continually keep and preserve my paths. Hear and understand discipline, and be wise, and do not lose it. Blessed is the man who listens with understanding to me, keeping watch day by day upon my gate, to watch and care for the doorposts of my entrance, because whoever finds me finds life and obtains delight from Yahuwah. But he who misses me violates his soul. All who hate me desires and pants after death. I think that says it all. See, her path, she is also Yahuwah, you see. She is the feminine nature of Yahuwah, set apart from the beginning. Whereas our Father in heaven is the masculine part of Yahuwah, the Spirit is the feminine part, and Yahusha is the Son and the product of both. But they are all Yahuwah. One united family, one united being, one singular creator. Chapter 9 verse 1. Wisdom built her house. She has hewn out. She has butchered her beast. She has mixed her wine. She has set her in order her table. She sent out a young woman to proclaim from the high places in the town, whoever is simple, let him turn in here. To him who lacks common sense, she says, come, eat of my bread, drink of my wine that I have mixed, forsake simplicities, and live and be blessed in the path of understanding. Well, again it says it all. I don't care what anyone says. To me, this is not a pure, simple thing. And it's not just poetically speaking about something called wisdom. It's not just poetical language. It's not a literal personification. But that doesn't make sense in light of an amplified translation of Yeshayahu 11:12, as we shall later see. But what we've got to do first is to actually define wisdom, I think. And I'll define wisdom, then that will be the end of part 2, and part 3 will follow shortly afterwards. What does wisdom actually mean? What does the word mean? According to Wikipedia, the online dictionary, wisdom is the ability to think and act according to and using knowledge, experience, understanding, common sense and insight. Okay, now the free online dictionary states as wisdom has the ability to discern or judge what is true, right and or lasting, insight, common sense, good judgment. The online Oxford Dictionary states, wisdom is a quality of having experience, knowledge and good judgment, of being wise. So we see wisdom is the ability to use our knowledge, experience and understanding, and insight to make good and proper decisions and judgments. Wisdom is a tool that we use. Or rather, we are considered wise if we have the ability to use the above list of qualities in order to make good and right choices. Wisdom is not some living personality that we have to go chasing after, that we have to physically love to get rewarded. It's not something that can actually do anything for us. Although it can rightfully be said that if we use wisdom, if we are wise in using our understanding and knowledge and our experience to make good choices, then we use the listed qualities. We use them wisely, then we will indeed benefit from that ability. Absolutely. So, but we have to ask ourselves a question. Is the wisdom spoken of in these verses a living personality? Is it feminine? And is it the set-apart spirit of Yahuwah? Is she the set-apart and cleansing spirit promised by the Son, Yahusha, the spirit of comfort, and the another comforter he promised? The answer to this question is wisdom, the spirit of Yahweh. The set-apart and cleansing spirit can be found in Yeshayahu Isaiah 11:2, which will be read in the next part. Shalom.